Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? First of all, Cheryl B, thank you so much for this deck. I got an early birthday present and I was jumping up and down. I've been wanting this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. But you know when you set yourself a special surprise, it's like the anticipation is so much fun because then you're like, maybe it'll arrive, maybe it won't, and then if it doesn't, I knew always, if it didn't come in, I was going to order it. Again, you guys, this is the Empath Oracle. It's so magical. These are the backs. Oh, they're so dreamy and beautiful. The artwork, the book, everything is so special. I love it. And for a backdrop, I have some of the crystals and beads that I got yesterday at one of the biggest bead shops and crystal shops in New England. So over on IG, I'll post some of the stuff I got. I can't wait to start beading and making. They have like big natural citrines. I got rose quartz, sodalite, just a gazillion things. So I'm going to post over there. So I was so excited. That was my birthday treat for myself. My birthday is on Tuesday, and I promised myself on that day, if weather allows, I am just going to go outside and create jewelry all day and listen to funny podcasts and just relax for like hours and hours and hours. So I'm so excited. So let's tuck in and see. I'm going to read from the book, like some of the little special things, because it's so prolific and beautiful, and it just resonates, and it just hums this magical, beautiful, euphoric kind of art and true distinction in life. It was just one of those things where I was like, wow, this thing is really special. So let's start about what's happening with activating empathic magic. And I feel like if you're watching this, a lot of people that are drawn to tarot, that are drawn to the esoteric arts and this entire world, horoscopes, all of this, the bigger picture, the cosmos, a lot of people are empaths. They feel it and they're like, why do I feel this person's energy? Why do I feel this happiness, sadness, or whatever in the room? And then, before I begin, I have to share the story because this is something that happened to me, activating empathic magic. Weeks and weeks and weeks ago, I had my nails done by this beautiful lady called Sue. And her name is Suki, and I just thought she was so sweet and gentle, and I liked making her laugh, so I was saying silly things and laughing, and I was in a really good mood, like, whenever I'm splurging for myself to get my nails done, which she just did these, I was like, just having a great time with her and talking to her about her family. And my mom, I said, my mom's name is Sue, and she goes, really? Are you Korean? I was like, yes, I am 100% Korean. And she started laughing. I said, no, like Suzanne. You're Sue what? And she's like, oh, I'm Suki. So sweet. I loved her. So 2 days ago, I walked in. And she's doing my nails for a couple minutes, and she looks at me and she goes, I know you. She goes, you're that happy lady. She's like, so she's just looking at me. She goes, never mind, or excuse me if I'm looking at you too much. When people are really happy, I like to look at them. She's like, because all of a sudden I feel like, when you came in and I started doing your hands and everything, I feel like I'm breathing better. Like it's like contagious. Like I'm happy now. She's like, it's so strange. And that is empathic magic because emotions are contagious. And if we're with other empaths and we're silly, like I'm just talking about my family, she was asking me a bunch of questions like, why are you so happy? What's going in your life? Are you married? Do you have children? All this stuff. So I was just telling her, what I do and all this stuff. And it was so awesome. But I felt like that was the biggest compliment anybody could pay you is, you now made me happy and I feel like I can breathe better when you're around. I was like, what? That's crazy. But that is this. We can activate that. Moods are contagious. And if we're around other empaths, just smile and relax. Even if something's happening in your head, say, I can be neutral about this. Because even neutral is better than hyped up, psyched out, and angry about something, right? So take a breath. No sweat kind of thing. Remember that we affect other people and to try to do it in a nice way. And the weird thing was when I was leaving the salon, all of a sudden somebody was like, oh, Suki will be great for this. She'll do that. She goes, yeah, I'll do it now. I'm in a really good mood. She started doing this stuff and I could hear everybody talking and laughing, like the mood shift and switched. It's almost like you pass the ball. You pass the happy ball to somebody and then they bring other people up. It was amazing. So activating empathic magic, the themes in this is analyzing the term magic. What does it mean in our life? And understanding that life itself is the grandest act of this beautiful magic ritual and utilizing metaphysical tools designed for empathic growth. Crystals, I think that's why a lot of us out there are drawn to tarot, to oracle, to crystals, to books, to meditation, to yoga, all of these. And I feel like the creative meaning in this card is it's clear that we are the magicians in charge of our own lives. In a sense, every action and thought is a spell. The whole experience of life is one grand like ritual drama, right? The person in the picture is a warrior of possibilities, a creator of reality, and how much magic we see around the world ultimately depends upon ourselves. That's why I'm so happy there's so much beautiful art out there, because art is magic to me. It just makes my imagination soar. You ever go on like Sherwin-Williams or any of the palettes or templates? I love the words and what they name the colors. I just get so much whimsy and magic out of that I see like comical things from it. I'll see entire landscapes, especially with the winter greens and the icy blues, amazing stuff like that. But this talks about how you are a magical being, that life is magic, plain and simple. Although empathy is a quality everyone has one extent to another, individuals who identify as empaths experience a higher than usual level of emotional absorption from the outside world. Just one of those things that happen. We also experience our own emotions at a higher level than the average person, and this is a gift. According to numerous magical traditions throughout time and culture, Mother Nature provides everything we need for both physical and metaphysical healing. And empaths can utilize numerous natural materials to help protect our energy and grow in emotional confidence, right? I feel plants, let's oh my gosh, aloe, sunburns, all of these things. Coffee plants, all this wondrous, just talking about, botanical stuff, but let's talk about other things. Crystals, like I went into this warp zone when I walked into that crystal shop, because it's like a 5-part thing. One is just they had a $17,000 like 8-foot petrified piece of wood from some era, I don't know, like Paleozoic, like way back when, just huge. They had these crazy fish skeletons and everything. Then they had huge geodes, and it was almost like the room was electric. I felt like I needed a sedative because I thought I was going to rocket right out into space. It was so wonderful. That kind of thing. Just crystals, what calls to you? This has become my favorite, and and I kind of know why. Golden obsidian is just so wonderful. It deflects negative energy, and I love heart carved crystals. Deflects negative energy, super grounding. Like the moment I touch it, again, I feel like woo. I feel like I'm sitting Indian style in a forest, like I'm just totally chill. It does that for me. It makes me really, really like chill, and I do feel the protection, and it's wonderful. So empaths of all levels can utilize empathic magic. Life really, really is magic. So don't get hung up on labels or anything. Some of these things we can do is ritual, prayers, meditation. They're accessible to all of us. And while one person might want to carry a few gemstones in their pocket, another might have a charm bag, a necklace, or even a lengthy ritual based around specific tools. I know every single bag I have has something. It has some crystal, some cards, and I love it. I love having this. I like Christophase a lot too, that beautiful blue stone, and that's a stone used to shield against harmful external energies while increasing kind of social grace. Makes us nice and quiet. Citrine, my absolute favorite. I got a big strand of this. I can't wait to make some bracelets out of it. Big, natural, gorgeous, glittering citrine, and that's a stone whose energy is projective rather than absorptive. It helps empaths maintain their inner light. It is the stone of vitality and warmth and good luck and happiness. It really is. It's known as the happiness stone. It's my birthstone. I jam out on it. I feel like it's magic. It almost looks like yellow diamonds at times. Really, really beautiful. So again, obsidian too. This helps protect against emotional overload, and it's really, really important. So again, even in the book, it has meanings to stones. It has everything. I was like just so impressed with all the beautiful diversity and things in this particular deck. And the artwork, please, swoon. These are the backs of the cards. That is so like compelling me to just start painting, to just start like everything. It's just so fabulous and warm and gorgeous. So let's talk about loving the self on all levels. This is so important, you guys. Let's release the need to be perfect and solve everything. Let's appreciate the whole self in mind, body, and spirit, and making self-respect and self-value the new perspective, right? And that is, I am not going to demean myself or overgive or overshare or overextend for any reason. Like, I'm not here for other people's convenience. I'm this beautiful being that that desires a little peace and a little again, reverence. So I love this card's painting really symbolizes a need to appreciate our own beauty. In addition to physical beauty, this necessitates a deep understanding of our own inner being with all its perceived flaws. The person depicted on this card understands that their own being is a work in progress. It sees beauty in their path to completion. The image illustrates the power that comes from having healthy self-confidence. That means, hey, you know what? I'm looking after myself. I took a shower. I put on clean clothes. I'm trying to make some healthy tea and eat some food. And most importantly, I love, if you guys saw my last video, I talk about the 5 rings and a lot of people working outside to inside. And forget about starting with action. Start with the center, which is, how do we identify? Do you identify as a kind of like pure light being and a happy soul and a curious person? And then everything goes out there, actions, behaviors, and all of that from the outside. Our belief systems, everything that's like the in-between. So start with, how do you identify? How do you want to identify right now? Like, I want to identify as somebody who is positive and curious and, feels that life force, is appreciative and has a generous demeanor, that type of thing. Let's not sugarcoat reality. The most difficult life lesson for a lot of us, especially empaths, is to love ourselves, because we're prone to absorbing judgments and hanging on to them for a long time. So in addition to our own expectations of perfection, we need to regularly invoke love and compassion and gentleness towards ourselves. Regret, all those things can just lead to dark thoughts and actions. Let's let go of this. Let's encourage ourselves to focus on what self-love means. And this isn't some sort of idealism where a person feels they're infallible or, there is always room for improvement, or else you wouldn't be here experiencing this journey of life. So self-love really starts with an acceptance of who you are at this time, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or anything else. Just stop hating on yourself. We're going to make mistakes. We don't have to become attached to mistakes. Again, this is back to identifying, who do we think we are? We don't think we're fumbling, bumbling, moronic, crazy people, do we? We think we're people that are trying, and we're allowed to make mistakes. So I feel like when the future rolls around, our present selves deserve empathy for what comes in. We don't need to wait for the future to feel genuine and gentle compassion for ourselves right now, because self-love is a far cry from like arrogance or self-righteousness. Love is gentle. It's a forgiving force. It's not something attached to the ego. We can be confident without being prideful. And loving ourselves is not something that happens overnight and is not something that will necessarily be felt all the time. We have the right to forgive ourselves for slipping into moments of disparity or emotional self-sabotage, right? We have the responsibility of picking ourselves back up after the fall. We have to be our own advocates in life. So examining like our conditioning is an excellent way to break through the barrier of like self-deprecation and judgment. It allows us to enter the vibration of gentleness, of kindness, and like, we are beautiful empathic souls. And although it may feel like it sometimes, we are not the products of our upbringing. While conditioning from the past might make us feel trapped or helpless, as adults, we choose a choice. We don't need to or deserve to be a victim or be in victim mentality. We have control over our life. It's about our perspectives and how we see our experiences in life. So I feel like this card really just urges us to reflect, to meditate, and to question conditioning. We unconsciously accumulate many negative things throughout our life, for sure, usually without even knowing. So making a written list of self-judgments can allow us to trace each judgment back to its source. It could be a teacher, could be a trainer, it could be a friend, it could be anything. And then by objectively realizing these blockages, we can more easily open ourselves to activating beliefs about ourselves that are more in alignment with positive factors. Try replacing and focusing on self-beliefs that are healthier rather than those we've become accustomed to believing. So I just love these so much. I think they're so beautiful and they just speak to me, and channeling is wonderful with these. They're powerful and I just love them. So you guys, that is what you're meant to hear today. Again, Cheryl B., you are a superstar. I appreciate this more than I can say. This has just become my favorite all-time oracle deck that I've ever owned. and it just transports me. It's absolute magic. I love you guys. I know, like you or anybody else, sometimes I just struggle. It's like I make these weird lists that I think I have to accomplish, and when I don't, just these smoke and mirror lists, I think, oh my gosh, like, what are you doing? You got to do this. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I want an absence of plan. I want to be able to reflect. I want to be able to be calm, and again, activate this magic for myself and love myself, and just recognize that anything that can aid in self-development and let's go of self-limiting beliefs is powerful. And this deck is definitely about that. And that's what I hope some of my reads are as well. So love and light to all of you.